bring the hands to your knees, back of the hands resting to the legs, the palms are facing open. And just find your sit bones in the ground. Just kind of root them into the floor and try and tip your weight forwards into the sit bones so you feel the tailbone try and tip backwards a little bit. Just how you lift through the posture of your lower back, finding that seat of the pelvis. Keeping that sense of lift through the lower torso. Try and create the sense of your rib cage lifting a little bit further away from your pelvis. And then keeping that lengthening through the waistline, just soften the shoulders down. So you keep the tall posture, but soften the shoulders. See if you can lengthen any more space around the back of your neck, which might mean your chin needs to come towards your throat a little bit. So create a bit of a double chin feeling. Like you're trying to flatten your spine towards a wall. And then in your beautiful posture, just find your breath, just observing. Let it connect into the lower abdomen. Feel the side ribs move, the back ribs, the chest. Keeping all of the breath rooted below the shoulders. So shoulders are not rising up towards your ears as you breathe in. They're just staying soft, staying relaxed. Just reminding your body of those bandhas, your mula bandha, contracting of the perineum. Uddiyana bandha, drawing navel towards the spine as you exhale. Those two meet in the middle for a little bit of internal strength. And then the Jalandhara bandha we don't use very often, that's in the throat. And if we hold it very slightly, that gives us that ujjayi sound to the breath, a slight contraction in the throat. That more audible, deeper, more grounded breath. So I'm going to invite you to take a couple of rounds of the Kapalabhati pranayama, that stomach pulsing, short, sharp exhales. If this is unfamiliar to you or uncomfortable, then just continue with this nice, slow, rich breath that you have now. If you want to take this Kapalabhati with me, then take a full breath in. And then just let that breath completely go. Take another deep breath in, and then use the exhale through the nose, these short, sharp exhalations. Feel the stomach activating. So it's a pulling in of the abdomen, is strong from the abdominals. Just focus on the exhales. The inhalation will sort itself out. Last few. Fully exhale. Take a deep breath in. And just let the breath relax. We're going to take a second round if you're coming with me, but this time, if you wish to, we'll take the arms up above the head. Actually, even if you're not taking this Kapalabhati breath, take the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, and then flip the palms up to the ceiling so the hands get a stretch out. Feel the ribs just really nice and wide now. So without that Kapalabhati breath, just take a few deep breaths, as getting as wide as you can into the ribs. Using the exhalations to engage those lower bandhas and bring in the lower ribs towards the abdomen. So finding that strength around the core. Have a little wriggle into it if it feels quite good. So either staying here for a few nice deep breaths or coming with me for a few rounds of Kapalabhati. So taking a full breath in to prepare. And when you're ready, start the exhale to begin. This isn't about the speed of your pulsing. This is about the connection to your core. Last few. Fully exhale. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, release the hands down to the ground. Just fingertips either side of your hips against the floor. Arms nice and long, shoulders are down, but the posture is still nice and tall. So let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. Feel that lengthening down the left side of the neck. Move the head around a little bit if you need to find it. Think about the head of the left shoulder reaching away from your left ear. Relax the jaw. Staying where you are, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, roll the chin towards your chest and then bring the left ear towards left shoulder. Finding that distance and space and stretch between right shoulder and right ear. Staying where you are, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring chin towards the chest, bring the head back up straight. Just lift the shoulders up to your ears and roll them down your back once. And then come over the knees into all fours when you're ready. Spreading the fingers open into the ground. And let's just warm up into the wrists a little bit. So just rocking your weight forwards, backwards into the hands. A little bit of scrunching of the fingers if we can. Just get that nice strong ligament through the index finger into the wrist. Circling the shoulders a little bit around wrists and palms and fingertips. Changing your direction. And then turn the fingers outwards, so the fingertips are facing the outer edges of your mat. And again, just transferring the weight from hand to hand or slight circles. And then bring the hands back to face kind of the normal way, so fingers facing forwards. So from here, flatten your fingers into the mat and lift the wrists and the palms up off the floor. And then slowly lower the palms back down to the ground again. And again, lift the palms up at the same time they lift. And at the same time, lower them down. Same time they lift up again. And same time to lower them down. Keep that going a few more rounds. This one you can pick up the pace, like your hands are doing little press-ups. Just pushing up, push up, push up, push up. You might get a little few clicks and cracks coming through the fingers and the wrists. Oh, you do about 20 of these a day, you'll feel the strength come into those forearms. Last couple. Good, and then placing the hands down. Take a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, lifting the tailbone and chest, get through the spine. Exhale, rounding your back, opening out the back ribs. Push the floor away. Keep it going at your own breath pace. Feel free to wriggle side to side into it or rolling it round in circles, just any way your back is kind of asking you to move. Then coming back into that arch of the spine, that mini back bend with tailbone and chest lifting. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, like a chaturanga, drop the chest towards the ground, keep the elbows hugging in, and then pressing back so the hips come towards your heels. As you inhale, round through your back, so you open through the back ribs as you come back up again. Exhale, dip the chest to the floor, mini back bend, press back to the heels. Two more in this direction. So inhale, lifts you up with a rounded spine. Exhale, arch your back as you drop chest to floor and push back. Last one, inhale, lifting up and over. And exhale, elbows squeeze in. So when you get to your heels, change the direction. So scoop your chest along the floor. Keep those elbows hugging in as you lift up. And then exhale, rounding the spine back to your heels. Inhale, sweep the chest low, keep the elbows in as you lift. Exhale, rounding your back to the heels. Two more, inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, brings you forwards and up. And exhale, rounding back. Holding this child's pose now, lengthen the arms out in front of you. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then gently bringing yourself back forwards, bring the forearms to the ground, spread the fingers open, elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Then press into the elbows so shoulder blades broaden out, let the neck relax, head drops back so gazes to knees. Tuck the toes underneath and on a deep exhale, lift the knees and the hips up, coming into dolphin. Keep pressing the elbows down to the floor and then towards the top of the mat so you feel your chest reaching through the armpits towards your shins. Maybe tiptoe the feet in a little bit closer towards the elbows, so those hips, those sit bones are reaching up as high as they can go. Now, like we did when you were seated earlier, imagine you can lift your pelvis higher away from the rib cage, lengthening that distance in the waistline. Let go of anything you don't need, maybe around the neck, around the fingers or the toes. Slowly walk your feet towards the back of the mat. So you come in towards a forearm plank position, lowering the pelvis in line with those lower ribs, and then feeling like you're almost trying to tuck tailbone. So you feel those lower abdominals switch on. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the knees to the ground, the hips to the floor, and then just prop the chest up on top of the elbows into that Sphinx pose, pressing the tops of your feet into the ground, so legs feel lengthened, kneecaps are maybe hovering, finding the breath. Keep pressing into those elbows so you lift out of the shoulders as long as you can through the neck. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, take the elbows wide to roll the chest down to the floor. Bring your arms into more of a cactus position, so elbows out. Inhale again, coming into cobra, lengthen the arms as you lift the chest. As you exhale, pull the floor towards you so your chest reaches forwards as you roll back to the ground. Again, take an inhale, rolling up. And exhale, coming forwards and down. Once more. Inhale to lift. And exhale. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders, pressing up to all fours. Tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. So paddling the feet for a few breaths to keep some movement going through the body, maybe swinging the hips, stretching out the toes. Keep the fingers really spread open into the floor, so palms and wrists feel strong. See if you can soften around the tops of the shoulders, dropping the shoulder blades into your back. And then a mini bend in the knees, try and tip the tailbone and sit bones higher to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lengthen again through the back of the legs. Once again, inhale, deep bend in the knees, lengthen that lower spine. Exhale, straightening up through the back of the legs. Now finding stillness here, take another 2 breaths where you are. Deep inhale. Exhale. Think about those bandhas once again. Inhale. Exhale. Roll forwards to your plank position. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, half chaturanga, knees and chest come to the ground. Sliding forwards and up to cobra, inhale. Now come back to the ground again as you exhale. Inhale, push up to all fours, elbows hug in. And exhale, come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank, that half vinyasa once again. Exhale, half chaturanga, knees and chest to the ground. Inhale, coming forwards and up to cobra. And back to the ground as you exhale. Inhale to all fours. Exhale to downward dog. Take 2 breaths. Inhale for 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Gaze towards the hands. Start walking the feet up towards the top of the mat. Find a forward fold. Take a sway of the body or a rolling out of the wrists. Anything that just helps you loosen up wherever you need. Take another couple of breaths here in the Uttanasana. Try and soften the abdominal tension inwards. So abdominals are relaxed in the fold, which will help the spine release a little bit further. And the neck relax. The eyes relax. And staying where you are, take another breath in. And as you exhale, slowly begin to roll yourself up to standing. Take your time, step 1 vertebrae on top of the next. So the head is the last thing to lift. Roll the shoulders down your back. Just finding standing at the top of the mat. Spread the toes open, either big toes touching or feet hips distance. Don't mind, NamaSTE. So let the fingers reach down towards your feet and then maybe just close your eyes. Just observe where your center of gravity is. Notice if one foot feels like it's taking more weight than the other. And just find that central point. Notice if your weight is into the heels or into the balls of the feet. Just try and again find that center point. Soften any locking back of the knees, so there's a really soft micro bend in the knees. Inner thighs just nudging towards each other to help draw the tailbone down. There's not a tucking of the tailbone, just lengthening it down. Gentle engagement of those lower bandhas. Shoulders are relaxed. Back of the neck is lengthened. The breath can move wide into the side body. On your next inhale, bring the fingers out to the sides and up to the ceiling. Breathe in. As you exhale, any way you like, come into forward fold. Bring the hands to your shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, right leg followed by left leg to plank position. Take a breath in. Half or full chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale, relax your neck. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Gaze to hands. Step the right foot followed by the left foot to the top of the mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, folding into the legs. Inhale as you roll up to standing, bring the arms wide and up above the head. Exhale, refold, second round of A. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, left foot followed by right foot to plank position. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. Gaze to hands, left foot followed by right foot steps up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise, coming all the way up. Exhale, refold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, as long as you can through the spine. Exhale all the way to your chaturanga. You can step it or jump it, but keep breathing out till you've lowered. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. And bring the gaze to the hands, bend the knees, take as many hops as you want to take to get to the hands, but make them as quiet as you can. You're all on mute, so that sounded perfect. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise, hands wide and up. Let's take a fourth and final round of Sun A, so exhale to refold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step or jump, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. Gaze to hands, bend the knees as quietly as you can, jump towards the hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale as you rise. Then just bring the fingers down to the sides of the legs, fingertips again reaching to the feet, just finding that tall, long posture, completely centered, nothing too held, just easy through the body. Make sure the big toes are now touching. The rest of the toes spread out around it. Take a deep bend into the knees. Come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Holding on this first one. So now make sure the weight is in the heels of the feet. Sink the hips down. But try and keep the chest as upright as your back can kind of hold you to be. Strengthening around the sides of the spine and around the shoulder blades. Each time you're exhaling, engaging those bandhas. Deepen the breath. And again, a really good posture to just check in with whatever you don't need. So soften a little bit around the neck or the shoulders or the gripping of your toes. Take one big full breath in and use the exhale to forward fold, straighten up the legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Long exhale, chaturanga, step or jump. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg lifts, take a full breath in. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Turn the back foot to an angle, come into warrior one, arms lifting. Holding here in warrior one. Deepen the bend in the front knee. Try and open more space around the front of your left hip. So that might mean that you press back into the back of this left knee. It might mean you draw the tailbone down and take out as much back bend from the pose as you can. Soften the shoulders, but then lift the gaze to the space between your hands and take a full breath in. As you exhale, lead all the way through your chaturanga. You can skip chaturangas, just hold plank if you want to. Lead through the vinyasa to get back into your downward dog. On your next inhale, lift the left foot high. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Turn the back foot, come into warrior one, and again, just holding. Deepen into the front leg, and open the space at the front of your right hip. That might mean you nudge the hips or press back into that back leg. Take out any feeling of back bend. Soften the shoulders. Take a breath in as you look up. And a long exhale, come through your chaturanga. Keep leading through the vinyasa. So again, we meet back in downward dog. Holding for 2 breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Bring the gaze to the hands, bend the knees, step, walk or jump as lightly as you can to the hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forehead to shins. Take a deep bend in the knees, come back into your chair pose again, arms lifting. Bring the palms together and your right elbow towards the left thigh into a twisted chair pose. Press the hands together, sink the hips down a little bit lower, and try and lengthen that lower spine. So now do try and send your tailbone as far back as you can. Bernard, imagine you're trying to back bend into it. Reach your tailbone further back and up. Yeah, lovely, good. Now really press your right elbow into that left thigh, but then also match the strength of your leg pressing into the arm as well. You should feel the waistline really switch on with a bit of strength there. On your next inhale, bring the hands back forwards and center. And as you exhale, change sides of that. So left elbow meets the right thigh. Reaching tailbone back, chest forwards to lengthen the spine. And again, press the elbow into that right knee, but at the same time, press the knee back into the elbows. We really activate all through this waistline on the left side. On your next inhale, come forwards and center. Exhale, forward fold, straightening up the legs, tuck the forehead towards the shin. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, step or jump. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg lifts up towards the ceiling, coming into 3-point core. So exhale, brings the knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, lift the toes up high. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift the toes up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Coming back into that warrior one pose again. This time we're going to come into warrior three, but arms wide to the side, like an airplane. So lunging forwards and float the back foot. Now try turning your hands so the palms are facing the way that your head is going. Palms facing the wall in front of you. So your little finger edge is dropping towards the floor, and see if you can use that to drop your shoulder blades into your back, engaging that wrapping of the shoulder blades feeling. That serratus muscle underneath the shoulder blades. Long and strong through the limbs. And slowly, nice, bring the foot back to the floor, just in time. Lift the hands up, take a real full breath in. This time exhale into warrior two. So spin around towards the long side of the mat, adjusting the feet. Gaze over those right fingertips. So like the warrior three arms, just spin the hands again so the little finger edge drops towards the floor. Allow that to soften the shoulders down your back. Take out any feeling of back bend, just closing those lower ribs and sink into that front knee any deeper. Quite simple postures, but we can work the whole body through them when we work them effectively. Think about the bandhas. And then take a full breath in and use the exhale to spiral the hands back to the floor. Lead it through your chaturanga. Maybe your right foot is floating. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale brings you to downward dog. Take a breath. The left foot is going to lift towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring that knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, lift the toes up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Turn the back foot, coming into warrior one. Exhale brings you into warrior three. Again, arms wide to the sides, floating the back foot. And again, turn the palms are facing the way that you're looking. Little finger edge drops towards the floors. Try and plug in those shoulders. You get that squeeze down of the shoulder blades. And then reaching out as long as you can through the arms. Then engaging through the whole of the back. Nice. Slowly bring the foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, spin around to warrior two. Adjusting the feet. And again, just scan the body from the feet upwards. So the heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. Making sure this front knee is tracking over the toes. We're not back bending. Bandhas are engaged to help you there. And again, just rotate the palms the way that the chest is facing. Allow that to soften or drop the shoulder blades. Gaze towards the left hand. Feel the breath. Take a deep breath in. And then using the exhale, spin the hands to the floor. Chaturanga, maybe left foot is floating. Lift the chest, inhale. And exhale to downward dog. Inhale, one. Exhale. Inhale, two. Exhale. Gaze the hands, bend the knees, step, walk or jump the feet up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, deep fold into legs. Take a deep bend in the knees, come back into chair pose. Hands to heart center again, right elbow to left thigh, this twisted Utkatasana. Keep the knees pressing together, see if you can pick up the right toes, just hovering. So squeeze that right heel up towards the buttock, keep the knees together. Take a breath. Place that foot down as you bring the hands back center. Inhale. Exhale, change the twist, left elbow to right thigh. Take the weight into that right foot, see if you can pick up the left toes. Good, foot to floor, inhale, bring the arms center. Exhale, hands to the floor. Maybe you're taking a crow pose here, or wriggle the feet open and just find a little squat. Either squatting down or try the balance. If you're working with the balance, really think about, be careful of your knees, arms and elbows pressing in towards each other. So again, you get that resistance of them working as a pair. Play around, don't let ego get in the way, don't worry about it. Wherever you are, on your exhale, take a chaturanga, maybe you can jump it back. Lift the chest, breathe in. Come back into downward dog as you exhale. Lift the right leg up, take a breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands. Come into warrior one again. Exhale into warrior three, arms wide for aeroplane. Inhale, come back into warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Then reversing your warrior two, bring the left hand around the lower back, right hand lifting up and over. Now with this arm wraps behind you, quite tempting to add in a little back bend to help you get it further round. So try and eliminate as much back bend as you can. If the neck feels okay, lift the gaze up so you're looking towards the crease of your top elbow. That might mean you need to bring the elbow forwards to see it. Now keep the back arm wrapped where it is. Just bring your body upright and rest that right forearm to your front thigh, coming into more of an extended side angle. So use the forearm to help the muscle of your quads pull back a little bit. Lift the gaze towards your top shoulder, but try and lift the shoulder back away from your gaze, like you're trying to chase the shoulder back. At the same time, slightly feel that tailbone trying to tuck under, so that you're squashing the body into a little toaster, nice and flat to either side. So either staying here, if this is uncomfortable for neck, just bring the head wherever it's comfortable to be. If you want to find a bind here, then let that right arm come down and under the right thigh. That might mean you need to lengthen the legs out a little bit, adjust it as you need to. Your right hand is holding on the left wrist. Then go on the inside of the knee and under, that's it. Right hand holding onto the left wrist, so that you can draw that left shoulder further open. Lean the body back into the right knee. Take a deep breath in wherever you are. As you exhale, unravel the arms, bring the hands to the floor, lead it through the vinyasa, or if you want to skip the chaturanga, just pause in a downward dog and we'll meet you there. Good. Take a breath. Left foot is going to float up. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands, coming into warrior one as you breathe in. And into warrior three, arms wide as you exhale. And that floating and engagement of your back. Come back into warrior one, breathe in. And exhale brings you round into warrior two. Wrapping the right hand behind your lower back, left hand lifts up and over to reverse the warrior. And pausing here for a couple of breaths. Drop that left shoulder down into your back so you can lift the gaze to the fold of the elbow. Try and minimize the back bend. Stay strong through the legs. Make sure that left knee isn't rolling in. Now keep the right arm wrapped behind you, but bring the left forearm down to the front thigh. Look up towards that right shoulder. And again, flatten yourself out as much as we can. So pull the lower ribs in. Imagine you're slightly tucking tailbone. Take a deep breath. And either staying here or coming into the bind. So your left arm is going to drop down and wrap underneath. This time, left hand holds the right wrist if we can. And using it to encourage the top shoulder open. We are not pulling or yanking the top shoulder back. Just drawing it round. Take a deep breath wherever you are. Slowly unravel, taking your chaturanga, your vinyasa, and we'll meet you back in downward dog. Take a breath. Lift the right leg up, take a breath in. As you exhale, step through to between the hands. Come straight back into your warrior two again, spiraling the hands open. And straight into that reverse warrior, left hand wrapped behind you and right arm reaching over. Take it a little bit deeper this time if we can. Maybe you can come onto the tiptoes of your front foot and think about the knee sinking further forwards. Again, think about the distance between your pelvis and your lower ribs. Create as much distance to that right side of the waist as you can. Flatten the front heel if it's lifted. Bring that back over to your extended side angle, maybe with the bind again, or maybe repeating resting into the thigh or hand to the floor. Go in and under. So either staying here wherever you are is a good place to hold. If you want to come into bird of paradise, bring the gaze down to your front foot. Take your back foot, it's going to step up towards the top of the mat. Keep the bind. Maybe from there, you can take the weight into your left foot. So you're going to lift the bound leg up off the floor. Keep the bound. Good. Well done. It's a really hard transition. Now try and straighten your supporting leg and your back. If and when those feel okay, then you start to straighten the floating leg. Just take a breath wherever you are. Good. Hold those bandhas. It's going to help you here, that Mula Bandha. Slowly start to reverse the way you came. So stepping your right foot down. You're going to hop as gently and elegantly as you can that left foot back. Good. And unravel the hands. I've lost my bracelet. Leading through the vinyasa, take your chaturanga. Meet back in downward dog. You can come straight to your downward dog if you want to start off those chaturangas. Take a breath at downward dog, let the body reset. And then lifting the left leg high, take a breath in. And exhale, step through to between the hands. Come straight into your warrior two, spiral the hands open. And into that reverse warrior with the right arm wrapped behind you. Staying flat through the body, no back bending. From here, bring it through to your extended side angle. Either you're resting to thigh or hand to floor or into bind. And maybe from here you stay where you are or you build it up to bird of paradise. So gaze to floor, then step the back foot to the top of the mat. Weight is in the right leg, so really activate that right glute and the hamstring to help you lift the bound leg off the floor. And focus on getting the supporting leg straight or your back straight first. Lots of dancing birds going on around the screen. Well done. If and when we have a straight back and straight supporting leg, then we lengthen the floating leg. And slowly reverse the way you came. Send the right leg back again. Unravel the bind. Lead it through the vinyasa. Let's meet back in a downward dog. Take a breath. So take about another 5 breaths. So either pausing in your downward dog or maybe a child's pose if the shoulders need to rest. How about 3 more breaths? 2 more breaths. Last breath. If you're in child's pose, make your way back into downward facing dog. And then bring your hands towards your feet at the back of the mat. Just holding here in a forward fold, feet hips distance. And again, like we did in the kind of first hold of Uttanasana, just roll the wrists out or sway the body and soften into where you ever need. So from here, just wriggle the feet open about as wide as your mat is. Take a little bend into your right knee. And then straighten it and take a little bend into the left knee. So just kind of swinging side to side. Alternate that again. So bend into the right knee. Let the body twist around where it wants to go. And then bend into the left knee. Bend back into the right knee again and pause there. So a little bit like the bind that we found just now. I'll turn to the screen so you can see this if you want to. Bending into right knee, your right arm is going to go under the thigh. Left arm is going to lift up to the ceiling, and maybe you just hold there. Or we try and work into the bind, so that left hand is going to come around behind you. The right arm is going to try and meet it. If you have the bind, your right hand is holding the left wrist. Try and straighten up through the right leg then. Again, if you want to come into bird of paradise, transfer the weight onto your left foot and the right foot's going to lift up to ceiling, or you can just stay in that fold with the bind. Lifting the bound leg. Make your way back into the fold if you've floated. Unravel your arms, come back through the center. Take a breath. Make sure the feet are a little bit further open than hips distance so we can get the arms through. So bend into the left knee. Left arm's going to wrap under, right arm is either lifting up or wrapping round, finding the bind. So again, if you have the bind, it's your left hand holding the right wrist. Maybe you stay in this fold or try and straighten the leg. It feels pretty delicious anyway here. Or we can take the weight onto the right foot. And the left foot is going to lift up to bird of paradise. Good try, nice. Be playful. Come back into the fold. Unravel your arms, just hanging out there. Start to walk your hands back forwards again, so you come back into your downward facing dog. And just try to let go of the neck a little bit. You can give the head a bit of a wiggle side to side. Take a deep breath in as you come onto your tiptoes of the feet. And as you exhale, bring the knees to the floor. And drop it into child's pose, hips coming to heels. Arms wherever you want to have them, either out front or hands over the forehead if the shoulders need to rest. When you're ready to bring the arms back out front, come back through your downward dog, just as a transition. Right leg is just going to float up so we can step it through to between the hands and place the back knee to the floor. Straightening the front leg, so we come into half NamaSTE or half monkey, flexing the front foot. Try and straighten the spine as much as we can, so tailbone reaching back and breastbone reaching forwards. If we need to have a little bend in that front knee, that is totally fine. Make sure the fingertips stay connected to the floor. Either staying here for a few breaths, either spine straight or rounding forehead to shin, wherever you get the best stretch. If you want to open it out more into your full NamaSTE, your full split, then take the legs a little bit further open. Make sure again the hands stay supporting you. You can have a block or cushion under your front thigh if that helps. Bring it down to whatever feels enough. So as parallel through the legs as you can. Good, strong arms if you're supporting yourself there with arms. Deepen the breath. Those of you that are maybe flat, so you can take the hands up to the ceiling, so you're off the hands. Take another full breath. Bring the hands back to the floor if they're floating. Work your way back into half NamaSTE, again, elegantly as you can. Some difficult transitions tonight. So from here, turn your body towards the left, lift up the back knee. So you're going to spin around towards the back of your mat into half NamaSTE on the other side. Drop the back knee to the floor. Straightening that front leg, keeping the hands connected to the ground. Just moving the spine, straightening and rounding slightly until you feel where the stretch needs to be. And again, deciding whether this feels enough for this evening or you want to lengthen it out a little bit longer, then take it where your body wants to go. Your body wants to go, not where your mind wants you to go. And floating the hands if you're flat and supported. Take a breath. If the hands are lifting, bring them back to the floor. Start making your way back into your half NamaSTE. Again, turning around towards that long edge of the mat and holding in your wide leg fold this time. So keep both feet Open, both knees lifted. That's it. Hands on the mat underneath your shoulders and just let the head dangle towards the ground. Those of you that are open enough here to get the head on the floor, I'm going to ask you to bring your feet in a little bit closer so the head actually isn't on the floor, so that you can get this real freedom of the head just dangling at the end of the spine. Shoulders soft, so the arms are wherever you want them to be, so your shoulders and head feel most relaxed. Keep the weight very slightly into the balls of the feet. Relax your jaw. And slowly walk the hands back around towards the top edge of your mats. This time step your back foot towards the top of the mat, so you're in a forward fold. And then take a deep bend in the knees, so you come to sit down to the ground, however feels best to get there. And lengthen the legs out in front of you, so you're in seated, Dandasana. Good, hands either side of your hips, palms pressing down into the floor. And then just try, as we did at the very start, find the sit bones, that sort of bony part of your bum. You can just move, take a hand underneath each bum cheek and just move your flesh kind of outwards. You really feel that bony bit of your bum into the ground. Then place your hands to the floor and try and tip the weight slightly forwards in the pelvis. That might mean you take a little bend in the knees to find that lift of your lower spine. That might mean you're actually sitting onto a brick or something as well, if that's more helpful. But try and find that slightly tipping back of the tailbones. Your spine feels that lift. Keep the hands pressing down into the floor and almost pressing out towards the edges of the mat. But because they are pressing down, they won't move. Just get that grip, that switching on of the back. Spread the fingers open. And if your arms are long and gangly, like mine, the elbows will tuck in towards the waist. If there's a bend in the elbows, tuck them in. The shoulders stay down. Neck is soft. Flex the feet. So everything in the body is feeling really active, switched on. Even the bandhas, that internal body. But stay soft through just the neck, head, the face, everything else switched on and active. Now keep everything switched on and active. Bring the hands up towards the ceiling. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Let the hands either wrap around the feet or maybe under the calf muscles if that feels a little bit more available. Soft through the shoulders, the neck. Slowly rolling yourself up. And then from here, just cross your right ankle to rest on top of the left one. Again, take a full breath in, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, come back into right knee in towards your chest, to the floor. Right hand to the ground behind you, coming into twist. So left arm reaching forwards, and then hug the knee into the fold of the elbow to wrap the shoulders round. Stay softening down with the shoulder blades. Active through that left leg. If you want to take it deeper, then take your left elbow to the outside of your front of that thigh. And again, like we did in the chair pose, as much as your elbow breathe in. Forward fold, maybe the forehead can rest onto your shin. Kiss your knee if it's in reach. Last full breath. Slowly rolling up through to seated. Then to that left knee, so heel comes in towards the body. Reach the right arm forwards, coming into twist. So left hand is there behind you to lift the spine up. Exhale, swiveling the shoulders round, soften shoulder blades. Again, if you want to deepen into the twist, just hook the right elbow to the outer side of the thigh. Unwrap that left leg back out in front of you. Good, that's it. This time reach the hands forwards, take a full breath in, and as you exhale, slowly roll through the spine, so you're coming all the way down to the mat. Let the legs kind of shuffle as they need to. Reach the hands all the way back behind you when you're grounded, and just take a full body stretch. You can give the legs a bit of a wiggle, the body a bit of a wriggle. And then floating the hands down to the sides of the body. And again, just soft with the shoulders. So they're neither held, rounded or back, just wherever the body feels at its most comfortable. Close your eyes. Soften any more if you can around the feet or the legs, the pelvis, back of the ribs, shoulders or the arms or the hands, the neck, the jaw, the face, the tongue, the mind. Notice perhaps after a few breaths, if any tension has started to creep its way back in. Let's take another self-scan. Softening the body, the mind, the breath. And see if you can carry that sense of comfort and ease as you just begin to deepen the breath. Just bring some energy into that softness of yourself. Begin to move your body into that comfort and ease. Wriggling the toes or bending the knees so your feet find the floor. And take your time, there is no rush. Make your way to seated, however keeps you best in that sense of comfort and ease. Softness. There's a quote I've read recently that stayed with my mind from a book called Inward by Young Pueblo. I am at my strongest when I am calm. I'm at my strongest when I am calm. Let's bring that to the heart center. Palms together. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your head to your hands, to your heart, to your strength and your calm. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Happy bank holiday. See you soon.